Ki-Tetze has one of the most mitzvahs in any parsha. It's hard to choose which one, but so I will choose Shluach HaKen, which is a mitzvah that everybody's familiar with. So there's a mitzvah in this week's parsha that send away the mother before you take the kids. Whether it's the eggs, whether it's the kids that are born already. Before you take the eggs or the kids, you got to send away the mother first, and then take the bonim. Shalech t'shalach hatzayim as a bonim tikach loch.
You're talking about birds?
Birds.
Okay.
Only birds, yeah.
Okay.
So the shayrish of the mitzvah, the Minchas Chinuch says, interesting because we see the Chinuch brings down, he says that there's a medrash that says that in the schus of mitzvah shluach haken, ha'adam zeichel lebanim b'schar mitzvah zu. Someone doesn't have any children. The way to be zeichel to have children is during the mitzvah of shluach haken, and he explains why. So the Minchas Chinuch says because the shayrish of the mitzvah, a lot said about the shayrish of the mitzvah shluach haken, but he says the shayrish of the mitzvah shluach haken is that Hashem shows that He wants to keep all minim that He created. Hashem created many different types of animals, and Hashem wants the kiyum hamin, and He worries about to make sure that there is the kiyum hamin, and there's the avtach from the Eibishter that l'olam there won't be any min that Hashem created that will become extinct. Today we know there is. It's because people kill them, but apiderech, the way the world should run, animals won't become extinct. The way Hashem created the world, animals will not become extinct. That's what the Chinuch says.
How does that help? How does doing this mitzvah?
Hashem he treats the animals with respect, and therefore, if you take the reason why you take the mother away, it shouldn't affect the kids. It shouldn't affect the mother. Not going to have kids anymore. Hashem deals with the brias, with the creations that He made, with Rachmanis in order that they should stay forever.
But when the mother bird comes back after you send her away, she finds her chicklings missing. She's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up.
Right, okay, that's exactly what it is.
I did that one.
Yeah.
They go crazy.
Yeah.
They go crazy, right?
I can't believe it.
So it is for a kiyum of the min, and if someone does that mitzvah, which is for the kiyum of the min, Hashem, the schar for that is that you yourself will be mekayim the min by having children. That's what the Chinuch says. But the question is, what type of mitzvah is the mitzvah of shluach haken? A person has to do it. A person should do it. He could do it if he wants. What type of mitzvah is shluach haken? Now we know there's different types of mitzvahs. We know there's a mitzvah. You have to blow shofar in Rosh Hashanah. The mitzvah to take a lulav and esrog. You have to eat matzah on Pesach. Those are all mitzvahs that a person is mechuyev to do. A person has to do those mitzvahs. Let's say Rosh Hashanah you have to blow shofar. A person has to put on tefillin every single day. There's certain mitzvahs that a person has to do, and he has to do something to make sure he can do that mitzvah. If he doesn't have it available, he has to make sure he gets it. So there's a shas in the Gemara exactly to what extent, how much money he has to spend to mekayim mitzvah say. But a person has to do whatever he could to make sure he can be mekayim certain mitzvahs. Now the question is, a mitzvah like shluach haken, does a person have to be mekayim the mitzvah or not? Now there's other mitzvahs which a person cannot be mekayim. For example, mitzvah tluis ba'aretz, if you're not in Eretz Yisrael, karbonis, which was in the times of the Beis Hamikdash, no, you can't be mekayim it. Then there's mitzvahs, for example, Hashavas Aveda. This week's Pasha, mitzvah Hashavas Aveda. If you don't find an Aveda, there's no chiyuv for you to go ahead and look for an Aveda or to go to the mitzvah.
So the same thing about Shluach HaKen.
Oh, so we'll get that in a second.
It's different though.
We'll get the Shluach HaKen in a second. If you're walking in the street and you see an Aveda, you're mechuyev to pick. Okay, it's a question of mechuyev to pick it up. But once you have it, you're mechuyev to return it. Pre-kutina, you walk and you see someone's animal, he needs help. Once you come to that situation and that you see the person who needs help, then you're mechuyev to do it.
What about a CS gag? To make a
Micah.
Micah,
So we'll get to Micah in a second. So, pre-kutina, for example, there's no din they have to go ahead and find a person whose animal needs help. No such halacha. If you happen to be walking by and you see it, now you have a chiyuv to do it. Right? That's a different type of mitzvah. Makkah. You build a house with a roof. You don't have a chiyuv to go ahead and build a house that has a roof to put a makkah around it. If you happen to build a house and there's a roof, you have to put a makkah around it. So the chiyuv makkah is not... Makkah is a fence around the roof. They shouldn't fall off.
If you have a flat roof, there's a mitzvah.
Yeah, if it's a flat roof, the mitzvah also in this pasha, they have to build a makkah around it. Ma'akah around it. That you shouldn't fall off.
But makkah.
Not a makkah, no, ma'akah. You have to build a fence around it, someone shouldn't fall off. You have to build a. That's only if you have a house. You have to build a mezuzah, right? You build a house, you have doors, you have to put on a mezuzah. So then they have to go ahead and build a house to have doors to put a mezuzah on it. Right? Those are all those mitzvahs that once you did something, now you're mechuyev in a mitzvah. But there's no chiyuv to go ahead and make yourself mechuyev in these mitzvahs. Then the question starts by shluch haken. By shluch haken, is there any din that I should go ahead and do shluch haken? So Pashas, the mitzvah shluch haken is, if someone wants to take the children, the banim, you have to send away the mother before you take the banim. Let's say I don't want to take the banim. I don't need them. I'm walking by and there's a nest with a mother bird and children there. Do I have to go approach it and do something, or not? Pashas, the mitzvah is, if you want to banim, go ahead and send away the mother. If you don't want to banim, leave it alone.
That's thinking about eggs.
Eggs and chicks, both of them. So you go ahead, you're passing by, there's a nest. Should you do something or just leave it? Why should you bother the birds for? So there's a famous Chavos Yoel that's medayik from a Gemara. The Gemara says, Shalech t'shalach haseim. So the Gemara says, Yochol, you would think that you have to go, Yochol yachzeh b'harim b'gvois. You have to go ahead at big mountains and small mountains and looking for a nest to do shluch haken. Kamash malon ki yikare kan tzipor lefanecha. Ki yikare means you happen to come across a kan tzipor. You happen to come across it. So when you read the Gemara, how do you understand the Gemara? Yochel, you would think. Sorry, I forgot to speak out before I started the shir. That this is the Zeich and Nishma, someone who sponsored the shir. Mr. Chaim Por for his father, Avram Ben Aaron. So I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the share. So if you go ahead, and so the pasuk says, the Gemara says, Shalech l'shalach, you would think you have to go ahead v'harim and look for it. Says the pasuk, no, ki yikari kan tzipor, when you come across it, yikari is the lashon of mikra. You come across it, then you have to go ahead and do shluch haken.
I thought I had to be in your own possession.
No, the opposite. It can't be in your possession.
Can't be.
Cannot be. If you own it, yeah. If it's in your possession, you can't do shluch haken. Yeah.
What's the Havamina to say that you have to go looking for this? In other words, ki kare is pretty.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty simple.
That's the more saying. You would think that's the ki kare saying.
Without that, you would think
the ki kare is saying only when it comes to you.
No. So okay. So
there's the Gemara saying that without that, you would think.
Right. Why does the Gemara have to go out of its way? Why would we think that we have to go and find this?
It says ki yikare.
Right.
So the Gemara is saying if it didn't say ki yikare, you might think that you'd have to go find it.
Right. Go look for mitzvah because mitzvah chiyuvis.
It does say ki yikare. It's like it's not a drasha. The pasuk actually says
you're saying like
ki yikare. Why would anybody think otherwise?
How could you dash ki yikare any other way?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question. Maybe this question will get answered soon.
Okay.
Maybe the question will get answered soon. Let's see what the chaz on this. Maybe it'll get answered.
So you find that in your backyard, you don't do it?
If you find a nest in your backyard you own,
Yeah.
you can't do shluch haken.
I don't know. I had that case.
Yeah, in your backyard.
Well, in my fence right in my backyard.
The fence is outside the fence. It's not
yours.
yours.
It wasn't outside the fence. It was inside the fence. And you know, there's a sefer called Kan Sipor, right?
Yeah.
The guy that wrote the sefer happened to be in town at the kollel.
And he said you could do
he
it?
came to my house, and he did it with Rabbi Palm. I have a picture in the video.
Okay, so you have to know if that's called, maybe that's called Malcolm Hefker.
If you don't own the bird, it's okay.
What was the conclusion?
No, you never own the bird.
Not the bird. You can't own what it's on, what the nest is on.
Yeah.
The tree.
It has to be,
Take it.
yeah.
I took it.
But it has to be kikara. It has to be mikra that's not yours. If it's in your shus, you can't do shluch haken. If you own it, you can't do shluch haken.
You don't own the bird.
Anything in your chutz, you own. Anything in your chutz, you own the can. You own the nest.
You don't own the bird. It was eggs.
Yeah, but you own the nest.
Right.
So you can't own it.
Considered birds?
No.
In your backyard?
Or it wasn't a tree. It was a nest, which he.
You can't own it.
On my fence.
You can't own it.
Okay.
So it could be the fence is called a makom, it's really hefker. You have to know exactly what's called a makom hefker or not. But if it's a makom that you own, you can't do shluch haken. So the Gemara says, shalech to shalach. You would think yach yachzach har kamashal ki karei. So the Chavis Yorah says that the Havim in the Gemara is the what? You have to go in Harim and Gvois and go find a can to go ahead and do shluch haken. Kamashal no ki karei. What does that mean ki karei? That when it comes to you, you have to do it. Right? How do you read the Gemara? I would think you have to go run after mountains to go find it. Kamashal no ki karei. When you're walking, it happens to come next to you. Does it say, and you want the children? What does it say in the Gemara? It says in the Gemara, when you happen to come and you see a nest, then you're mechuyev to do shluch haken. Says the Chavis Yorah, you see from the Gemara, that the mitzvah shluch haken is that if you come across a nest, you're mechuyev to do it right away. Even if you don't want to take the kids. You don't want to take the bottom or the base.
In Toronto, every single block has a nest with a bird.
Has a nest. So
every tree has a nest.
So according to this Chavis Yorah, you would have to go ahead and do a shluch haken.
Every one.
It's a shluch haken. It's a chiyuv. It's a chiyuv. According to the Chavis Yorah, you have a chiyuv to go ahead and do shluch haken. You don't have to go b'harim b'gvois, right? But it has to be. But if it's a karei, then you have
climbing a ladder to a tree would be like maharim close.
Maybe if you see it, Mm-hmm. That's what the Chavis Yorah says. The Chazon Ish argues, and the Chazon Ish says, if you don't want the bonim, if you don't want the birds or the eggs, you're not mechuyev to do mitzvah shluch haken. Mitzvah shluch haken is only once you want to take the children. There's a din shluch haken to send away the mother, but not.
That's the Chazon Ish?
That's the Chazon Ish says. And the Chazon Ish learns the Gemara differently. The Chazon Ish says, Shalech the Shalach. What's the Hamah you were asking before? What's the Hamah you should go ahead to run after Gvois to go find it? Because it says, Shalech the Shalach, that's the aim. It's a Lashon of a Ribui. And the Chazon Ish says, you would think that coming to your Marbi, you have to go ahead and you're mechuyev to go find it. Kamash Bala no. Ki Karei, there's no din to go after, to do no mitzvah chiyuvis at all to go ahead and do shluch haken. Ki karei is a gilui. There's no chiyuv at all to do shluch haken. Only if you want the birds. If you don't want them, there's no chiyuv to do it at all.
That answers the question, I think.
That will answer your question. Because the Gemara explains the ki karei means that there's not even a mitzvah chiyuvis. You would think ki karei would mean that when it comes like the Chavis Yorah, then there's a mitzvah chiyuvis. No, the ki karei is telling me even more than that. There's no chiyuv to do it at all. There's no mitzvah chiyuvis at all to do shluch haken, unless you need the bottom.
You would think there might be a mitzvah chiyuvis because of the double lashon of shalach.
Right. You would think that there would be a mitzvah chiyuvis because the shalach is aim, a double lashon. Kamashal ki karei, that there's no mitzvah chiyuvis at all.
No, but if I had shalech to shalach by itself,
there'll be mitzvah chiyuvis.
I can hear that. But the pasuk started off with ki karei.
Yeah. So ki karei can be the mitzvah chiyuvis. Ki karei, now you're mechuyev to do it. The Gemara is telling me no.
So even though I run into a nest,
right,
I still don't have to do it unless I want the...
Yeah. Right, that's a chiddush of the Gemara according to the Chazon Ish. And that will answer your kasha.
Chazon Ish turns it into a kindness.
A humus. It's not a kindness, it's a mitzvah humus, we call it. Meaning, if you want the children, then you're mechuyev to go ahead.
Then you have the mitzvah.
Then you have the mitzvah to send away the mother.
In one case, right, you're scaring away the mother.
Right.
I know we're not supposed to get into conversations about kindness to animals, but for a moment, bear with me. You have no interest in the eggs or the little birds, but you're required to do it. Right? So you scare away the mother and you take them. What you do with them, it doesn't matter. Okay? So she's kind of tortured over that. In the second case, you need the eggs.
Right.
It's for your purpose.
Right.
So rather than have her watch you do it, you send her away.
Right.
So in one case it's a kindness, the other case
correct. Okay.
It's interesting what Chazon Ish does with it as a result of it.
So that's the machlok. The Chavas Yor, and it's brought down all the poskim. The Chavas Yor holds the mitzvah chiyuvus to go ahead and do shluch haken. You have to. A person's mechuyev to go. You pass by a nest, the mechuyev to do it. Chas Nesh argues, and it's brought down. The KosherTube brings down in Reish Tabik Beis. He brings down the Chavas Yor. That's a mitzvah chiyuvus to do it.
There he is.
Sure.
But interesting, the KosherTube says like this. He brings down the Chavas Yor, that's the Mitzvah Chiyuvus, he brings Cholkim on it, and then he says like this. He says, that you don't have to go after Harim, Mekamokim, Mashma de Rami Alei Lizakik Law, you have to go ahead, if it's there, you have to take care of it. Upafrat, he says, V'ayim b'sefer Mishnas Chachamim, V'yash Luch is the Torah. It says like this: the Kemoish Amru b'tzitzis. What's the halacha with tzitzis? Tzitzis we all know. You mechuyev to a tzitzis? You're not mechuyev, right? If you're not wearing a beggar abakanfis, you don't have to put tzitzis on it. So a person go around without wearing tzitzis. You see somebody today who doesn't wear tzitzis, bite kemacharov. Oh, is he Jewish? Is he not Jewish? What's going on, right? Why? What's he doing wrong? It doesn't say in the Torah you have to wear tzitzis. If you're wearing the abakanfis, you have to put on the tzitzis. So guys are walking around without wearing tzitzis. He's a guy. He's not a guy. What's wrong? So why do we wear tzitzis? Why do we makbid always? Just to get the mitzvah. I give you plenty of other mitzvahs you can do.
Not every second of the day you can't.
You say because tzitzis every second of the day. Okay, what's not the reason why we wear tzitzis?
We wear it for a reminder that he should remind you of the mitzvah.
That's tzitzis is a reminder of the mitzvahs. But there's no chiv to wear tzitzis.
You're wearing daytime. You don't wear them.
There's no mitzvah chiyuvus to wear tzitzis. The mitzvah is if you have the dalat kanfis, you have to put tzitzis on it. But there's no chiv for me to go buy a beggar dalat kanfis and to put it on. So why do we wear tzitzis the whole day? So the reason is because the Gemara says the Kemoish Amru b'tzitzis the leka oynish ki im be'iden rischa. The Gemara says when a Hashem gets upset at Klal Yisrael, he looks around. And if they're wearing tzitzis, he calms down. And that's why it's put on halacha. The reason why we wear tzitzis the whole day is because of this Gemara. Because by Idin Rizcha, Hashem gets upset, he looks around to see, and if we're wearing tzitzis, Hashem calms down. That's what the Gemara says. So the reason why we wear tzitzis the whole day is only because of this. There's no mitzvah chiyuvus. And that's why we talk everyone wears tzitzis there, you won't find a person that has a reason why he's not wearing it.
To keep God calm.
Yeah.
That's why we're wearing tzitzis.
Which is important.
This is a Gemara?
It's a Gemara. No, it's brought down halacha.
Because God knows God can get it done.
Yeah, this is a Gemara. It's brought down halacha. And halacha tzitzis is brought down as halacha. But the reason why we wear tzitzis the whole time is because we eat in Rizcha, this keeps the Eibush calm. So it says like this. So it brings down the KosherTube brings down from the Mishnah Chachamim that the Kemoish Amr b'tzitzis the leka oynish kiim be'idin Rizcha hu adin bazeh imroya kan ve'eina niskik l'shalech has'eim manshinu lei be'eis Rizcha. If a person goes ahead and he sees a kan, he sees a nest, he doesn't do shluch hakein, then when Hashem gets upset, I'll punish him for that. Mishnah Chachamim. Interesting, no other mitzvahs like that. Since we have it, and shluch hakein. This is what the KosherTube brings down from the Mishnah Chachamim. Avaleka oynish.
Send the bird away?
Huh? Yeah, so the Chavas...
Even though if you don't need it?
Right. That's what the Chavas Yor holds, that the mitzvah's shluch hakein is a mechuyev to send the bird away, even if you don't need it. So the mitzvah chiyuvus to go ahead and send the bird away.
But that's bothering the bird.
That's still a mitzvah chiyuvus. That's what the Chavas Yor holds. Chaz Nishvus argues.
So if you see a nest, you walk in somebody, see a nest.
Chavas Yor holds a mechuyev to send away the mother. That's what the Chavas Yor holds. Chaz Nish argues, and the Chassam Sofer has to hold true about it also. There's a big machlokes in the poskim if you're mechuyev to do it or not. But the KosherTube brings down from the Mishnah Chachamim that even though let's even say you're going to hold not like the Chavas Yor, there's no chiv to go ahead and do it, but it's on the same level as tzitzis.
Are those the only two mitzvahs of that nature?
The only two mitzvahs we know of. The only one we really know of is tzitzis. He brings down now another one of shluch hakein. Mishnah Chachamim brings down another one of shluch hakein. So here's a reason why.
So if you weren't tzitzis, you don't need to send the bird away. Because God is calm.
No. It says that when Abraham gets upset, he punishes for that also. He punishes for not wearing dal kanfas. That's what he says.
No,
but the truth is,
if you're wearing it, then you don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah. Okay.
He gets mad for 2
How
weeks.
calm do you want God to be?
But the Mishnah Chachamim says, according to the Mishnah Chachamim, it doesn't say you have to constantly do shluch haken. He says you have to do it. Maybe once is enough. Who says you have to constantly do it? According to the Chavos Yair, the Mitzvah Chiyuvos, every time you come across a nest. According to the Mishnah Chachamim, not. I'll read to you a piece from Chaim Kanievsky. He has a sefer Orchis Yesher. This is a little scarier, but we'll read it anyway.
It's worse.
Yeah, you can't look at it and go, nah.
He says like this. Chaim Kanievsky says, Shuv matzasi v'shar ha-mitzvahs that Rabbi Chaim Vital zal. Chaim Vital and Shar ha-mitzvahs writes like this. The da, you should know. So kol netzutzei neshamas, mikol neshama u'neshama. Netzutzei is the sparks. Every neshama mechuyeves lekayim kol taryag mitzvahs. Every neshama is mechuyev to be mekayim all taryag mitzvahs. Im loy oisam shein yicholos b'yod non l'kaymam. Besides mitzvahs that you can't do. A mitzvah you can't do, what should you do? You can't do it. K'moy, karbonis, because no makes the mikdash, yibam v'chalitza, doesn't come your way, you're not mechuyev to do it. A get, there's no chiv to give a get. A pigeon ben, becharish, a dvarim elu einu b'yad adam. These things are not in my hands. Someone has a bechar, he does pigeon a ben. If he doesn't have a bechar, he doesn't do pigeon a ben. So those are mitzvahs that are not in your hands, you're not mechuyev to do. But any mitzvah that you could do, you're mechuyev to do. All other mitzvahs, a person is mechuyev to do. Even those mitzvahs which is not a chiv for a person to do. For example, shluch haken. You don't have to go run after it. So here he's saying a big chiddush. Even though the Gemara says you don't have to go running after the harim voice to go find it, only ki kare, then maybe it's a mitzvah chiyuvus. But says the Chaim Vital, sarach adam lechapes achareim v'lasaisam. A person has to anyway, even though there's no mitzvah, you don't not mechuyev to do it. Still, the person should go ahead and try to be mekayim every single mitzvah. Kichol zman shlehishlem atayag mitzvah shehem keneged rimache varav v'gidei nishmasoi hine nishmasoi chaserim and evarim v'nikra balmum. The sham of a person is missing something. If you don't go ahead and do all the mitzvahs that you could do, even though you're not mechuyev to do it, your neshama is missing something. So if you have a mitzvah shulach hakein, you didn't do it, then you have to make sure you do it. It says if you're more, I'm going to read it to you. Take it how you want.
But even that's something that has to come in front of you. You can't go look for it.
No, you have to go look for it. You have to go look for it.
You passed over again very quickly.
Well, no, I know where some are.
Private or public property?
You can do it.
Public.
Doesn't seem like a wise thing to do.
What's that time?
No, yeah.
Getting it.
Yeah.
Honey, I've got some good news.
You know, by,
What did you say? 1 second.
I want to be the kind of mitzvah.
Oh, it says, Mefurish b'sefer HaTikunim. Listen to this. Mefurish b'sefer HaTikunim. She'ein loy tikun. If a person doesn't do this mitzvah they could do, example, shluch haken. She'ein loy tikun. At sheyachzor be'gilgul be'yashlim kol hatarig mitzvahs. Let's read to what he says.
Come back as a bird, huh?
No, tell you, boys can't do shluch haken.
I'm just joking. You'll be the guy that does it next time.
Then he says even more.
Wait, does he say that specifically for shluch haken?
He says shluch haken. He says it on shluch haken. It's interesting. He picks from all the mitzvahs. He picks the mitzvah of shluch haken. It's interesting. So Chaim Vital.
What was that last part? He said
What will happen?
It's ain't like tikkun.
Oh, you won't have a
Tikkun the Shabbat won't have a tikkun. Actually, yachzor begilgul yashlam kol tarig mitzvahs. And then it says even more.
That's not done, I guess.
And gam da ki oisem mitzvah a maspik le b'mashu yasa oisam.
Let's bring it from the Zohar then. He's a Kabbalist now. He was
Yeah, it's Kabbalist.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, if you don't... That's what I said. Take it how you want. Yeah.
But it makes a lot of sense.
This is definitely... A Chavital is definitely a Pikabala.
No, but
that's what I'm telling you. We spoke here in the beginning. The Chavis Yor and the Chazanish, that's halacha. According to the Chavis Yor, you're mechuyev to do it. It's a mitzvah chiyuvis. You have to do shluch haken. You have to run after haram voice, but it's a mitzvah chiyuvis when it's there. According to the Chazanish, even a mitzvah chiyuvis you don't have. Ad kan halacha. Now we went a little further, and we said that Pischei Shuva brings down, which is also halacha, that shluch haken is the same thing as tzitzis. That be'idin rischa, Hashem gets upset about shluch haken.
He says that in the name of
the Mishras Chachamim.
Right.
Then we went a step further to Chaim Vital Pikabala that every neshama has to make sure to do all Taryag mitzvahs, including shluch haken. And if you don't do it, then
the neshama has to be completed when he gets up.
It has to be complete. That's what he says. That's what he says. Fine. As I said, take it as you want. It's Pikabala, no question about it. I'm not passing any vision.
I'm really curious what he says about a get.
About a get? No, he says you don't have to.
It's one of those mitzvahs that you...
If you come across it, but he
excludes those mitzvahs. He says the mitzvahs that it's not in your hands to do.
Of course it's in your hands.
No. Don't get carried. I don't want anybody going away and saying it's a mitzvah to give a get. And if you don't give a get, you have to come back down. No, please don't say that. No. What he says...
It's in your hands to do it.
No, it's not that way.
What are you doing?
He says a get. No, don't say. I never said that. Don't say that I said that. If you don't give a get, you have to come back down.
It's all been taped.
No.
It's not coming out right.
I'll read you what he says. His mitzvah not biyad ha'adam. For example, yibum b'chalitza. V'afilu inyan haget. Even inyan of a get. Ain't the mechuyev the garish le'ishlei. No chiv to go ahead and garish. It's not in your hands. Elo, if there's a reason why, there's something wrong with her. If there's something wrong with her, then there is. But if there's nothing wrong with her, the opposite. If you do a get when you're not supposed to give a get, mizbech meirid olav demois. So if someone's giving a get when it's not supposed to be giving a get, it's a terrible thing. Mizbech meirid olav demois. The only time you're allowed to give a get if you see something not good with her. That's the only time you're allowed to give it. So if something that's not biyadai, it's biyadah.
Or if you're going off to war.
That's something else. You're giving a get because you may not come back.
Right.
It's a different reason. But get is not one of the things that's biyadah. It's not biyadah. So that's the mitzvah shluch haken. If the Chavis Yor says it's a mitzvah chiyuvis, the Chazanish says it's not a mitzvah chiyuvis. If you want the kids, you do it. The Maisa, we find a lot of Sfarim bring down that there is an inyan to go ahead and be mekayim the mitzvah shluch haken. That's for sure. So a lot of schools spread about it, and it's brought down. You saw from the Mechas Chilich, it brought down from the Medrash. There is a big inyan in doing the mitzvah of shluch haken, and according to Chaim Vital, it's once in a lifetime.
Yeah, just
do it once and then you finish. That's all it is. Once in a lifetime, go ahead and do shluch haken. So that's what the ikar mitzvah of shluch haken. Now there's another question over here. Do you make a bracha on it? Do you make a bracha on shluch haken? Someone is doing shluch haken. Does he make a bracha?
No.
Why not? It's a regular mitzvah.
I might have made a bracha. I don't remember.
You probably didn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the Sefer says, I did. Because
I didn't see. I should look through the Sefer before the share, but I didn't. But
is it because it has to be over the siyasan, and when you shoot away the bird, what if the bird doesn't go?
No. So there's a Chuvas Rashba that gives two different reasons why you don't make a bracha on shluch haken.
It's not up to you all the time. It's like it's that time.
No. So he says like this. What he says is one of the things is the Rashba says on tzedakah you don't make a bracha. Why don't you make a bracha on tzedakah? Because you go to the ani and say I don't want it. Right, so then, right? It's not going to happen. So you can't make this bracha l'matala.
But it doesn't happen these days. It's into
well,
you give a guy $2, he's not happy, he won't take it.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough to give it back. It's a big check. You probably could make a bracha. But so that means you don't make a bracha on tzedakah because you're not sure he's going to accept it. What? Prove because you don't know. If you missed the first of all, prove the question is what the mitzvah is. Is a mitzvah the proof? Is a mitzvah the bia? Or is a mitzvah having the kids?
No bracha.
No, the question is when the mitzvah is. The mitzvah is having the kids. It's later on. You're not doing anything then. It's already happened by itself. But on so he says shluch the same thing. They make a bracha. If after they make the bracha, the mother bird flies away by itself.
That's right.
So you're not doing the mitzvah. You have to make it fly away.
Right.
If you don't make it fly away, you're not carrying the mitzvah. Right? The mitzvah of shluch hakein is to send away the mother. Right? The chayyim are bothered by it. Shluch hakein means sending away the nest, or the kids. We call them
the kids. The kids go away instead of the mother.
It should be shluch haim.
Right.
The real mitzvah should be called shluch haim, not shluch hakein. Okay, let's figure out why it's called shluch hakein.
You have to take them all, by the way. You shoo the bird away. There's 6.
No, you don't have to take them all. No.
Take 3 eggs.
No, you take one.
Or just take one.
Take one.
That's enough.
It's true. There's a question even if you have to take any of them. Some Achronim say we're just sending away the mother. You carry the mitzvah already.
Or some people just lift it up, put it back down.
Yeah, some people lift it up, put it back down.
But then
I read
they won't touch the they won't touch the eggs anymore.
Because when the mother comes back and doesn't see the kids there, she starts crying. And the malach, if the bird goes up to crying.
It just says that they're crying.
I care about birds. I care about Klal Yisrael.
Yeah. The sheikhs will come. Yeah.
To Klal Yisrael.
Usually, the klal is usually there's only 2 eggs there. The Metzias is of the birds. The Metzias, usually the way it works is bird lays 2 eggs. That's the Metzias. The bird lays 2 eggs, and those 2 eggs are always one's a zachar, one's in the keva, and they are married for life. Those 2 that the mother laid.
No, but sometimes you see a nest. There's like 4
more.
Yeah, so it could be it's 4.
Right afterwards, she has 4.
Another 2 that come in before the other 2 came out. But usually most nests you find 2 birds together, and then they zachar in the keva, and then those 2 are made for life. That's the mitzvah. And the mother bird is only there at night. You have to shluch haim. You send the father bird away. You don't have a kaim. It's a shluch hakein.
I don't know
which one it is.
Yeah. So the way it is before you do shluch hakein, you have to know the Metzias.
You have to read that book.
You have to know the Metzias. Besides the halacha, you have to know the Metzias also. Because you don't know the Metzias, you can mess up.
You also have to know if it's a kosher bird.
You have to know if it's a kosher bird. Yeah, you have to know a lot. Before you do shluch hakein, you get someone to help you out because the lot you have to know beforehand. And the mother always, I once had, when I was living in Israel, had a nest right outside my windowsill. And we watched it from like a month. We watched the whole thing. Every night, the father bird was on the nest the whole day. And by shkia time, you hear them calling each other. The father bird goes away, and the mother bird comes. And the mother stays there the whole night, and the father's away.
So you mean during the day it's the father?
During the day it's always the father. Shluch hakein has to be done.
I guess I blew it. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I did it during the day.
Stay home.
How do you know if it's a not?
May have to come back. Medley may have to come back down.
Are you sure about this?
Medley may have to come back down.
Wait, the story with the story with the Gemara with
how do you do it next?
was watching the kid go on the thing. That was at night when he fell off the tree and died.
Maybe. It was skier time.
How do you know that? How do you know the male?
That's what it says. The Metzias says that the mother is there at night and the father is there by day.
The person,
Shluch hakein you cannot be mekayim by day.
No, and also a male you cannot be mekayim.
Right, that's why you can't be mekayim.
I was there with the guy who went to Sefer. He just did it during it was daytime.
I don't know. Maybe it was close to night.
Maybe that could be.
Maybe it was close to night. And when it was still light outside, but it was close to night.
Maybe.
Yeah, it probably wasn't 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It probably was in the evening time. Every time I switch.
It's one mitzvah per person. You can't do it together. You and I can't go for
He's taking separate eggs.
I think a lot of birds.
They did it together. Look at the safer.
No, he was helping him.
Turtle is.
Matt was helping him.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Pigeons.
Yeah, so you have to know the Metzias. Yeah, you have to make sure it's the mother there, not the father. And it's kosher, but usually there's 2 eggs there. Someone told me a story. It's an interesting story to know that he once went to Shmuel Orbach. And the Rabbi in Cheder, I forgot what it was, but he typed a Rashi or something very, very wrong. And his kid came home from Cheder, and he was learning with his son, and his son told him how the Rabbi typed it. And first I said, no, that's wrong. It's totally a mistake. So he didn't know what to do. Should he tell the principal, the Rabbi you have hired there, doesn't know what he's doing. He's teaching Amarasas, he's teaching mistakes. So he went to Shmuel Orbach. And I heard this from the person himself. And Shmuel Orbach listened to him and he laughed. He says, you think it's only a problem now? When I was in Cheder, there was the same problem. Also, there were Rabbeim there that made major mistakes. When I was in Cheder, the Rebbe Taish, Rashi says in this expression, Ki kore can't see pro lefanecha. Ki kore, we learn out. It has to be, it has to happen. Rashi says, prat lemezumin. Unless it was, you set it up that way. Right? Unless you set it up that way. So his Rebbe Taish, prat lemezumin, if there's 3 birds in the nest together, then you don't have to shluch haken. Prat lemezumin. That's his Rebbe Taish.
That's funny.
3 male birds.
Shlomo Zalman said that?
No, not Shlomo Zalman. Shlomo Zalman's son, Shmuel Auerbach.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And you have to know what you're doing with Shluch HaKen. You can't just go ahead and assume that the mothers have to know what you're doing. Send away the mother and you take one of the eggs.
So it's daytime, you don't do it.
By daytime you can't do it. By daytime you can't do it. It has to be evening time. It has to be in the evening, or I'm not sure exactly. I think they change. If I remember correctly, even with longer days, the shorter days, doesn't make a difference. They always change before Shkia.
Right.
In the evening time.
He told me he wants to wait till get close to me.
Yeah, he probably told you that. It's been I can't trust anymore. It's because the other side of the fence now already.
No, it was right on the fence. I had a right by my porch. It was right there.
Okay. Fine. So getting back to the bracha, the middle of the bracha. So do you make a bracha? So you don't know. You send away the mother. You don't know. Maybe after they make the bracha, the mother bird is going to fly away by itself. Right. Therefore, that's the Rabbi says you don't make a bracha on shaluach hakein. One reason gives another reason which is hard to understand. He says because shaluach hakein, the mitzvah shaluach hakein is also you take the mother and then you decide you want to send it away. So when you took it and you didn't want to send it away, it's an aveira. You have a way of fixing what you did wrong by afterwards sending it away.
You send it away first, don't you?
Yeah, but it says some people will take it and then decide they want to send it away. Yeah, so therefore some people, it's hard to understand exactly what the Rashi means, but it gives another reason why you don't say a bracha on shluch hakein. The Maisa, most of the poskim say you should not make a bracha on shluch hakein, and they give different reasons. One reason they say is because maybe if the egg doesn't end up materializing, and there ends up being an egg that no child's born from it, you're not mekayim the mitzvah either.
Really?
Yeah, no, not that it didn't, that it can't. That it can't. If it didn't, yeah, you take the eggs. You can make scrambled eggs if you want. But if it's an egg that can't, if it's an egg that can't, you're not mekayim the mitzvah. So therefore they say, therefore the Ma'aser, we don't make a bracha on, I think most poskim hold today, we don't make a bracha on shluch hakein for all these reasons.